Hi everyone. Today is the last day before CLAT 2023, and all the hard work that you have put in, all the efforts, all the preparation, all the mocks that you have written, all the classes that you have attempted, tomorrow all of that will be put to test. There will be 2 hours that will determine your next 5 years and, of course, the life ahead. So, let's take this opportunity to see how to maximize this attempt, how to things that you should do and things that you should not do for tomorrow's paper. So I'm going to share with you some tips that will be helpful to you for tomorrow. Number one thing is that time management is the key. It is not a paper of knowledge as such as much as it is of time. If you cannot look at all the questions that are there, all the 150 questions, be it from logical reasoning, be it from English language, be it from quantitative techniques, be it from legal reasoning, be it from general knowledge, if you have not seen all the questions, that will be very sad state of affairs, because you should at least be aware of the questions that have been presented before you, because you might know the answer to that question, but if you do not manage your time accordingly, you might miss out on that. So I'm pretty sure that you have written several mocks, so many mocks you have written. You must have had some idea that how to manage your time, how much time to give to each section, how much time to give to general knowledge and current affairs. Usually students give less time to general knowledge and current affairs because it's either you know the answer or you do not know the answer. There is no point guessing, there is no point hanging on to the questions. So just finish that section and then move ahead. And then reading speed is very important. If you take too much time in reading and then understanding, that will waste your time. So reading speed has to be fast. Calculation has to be fast and quant. And do not get emotional with any question. Suppose you are calculating something and there is some error in calculation, and you devote so many suppose 7 minutes, 8 minutes in one question, that will be very fatal. Do not do that. Do not get stuck to a question. If you do it easily in time, it's great. Or move ahead, look at other questions, look at what the other questions has to offer. What if you know the answers to that question and this much is just wasting your time? So do not fall in the trap of going in sequence. Adapt according to the requirement, adapt according to the situation, and manage your time. That is very important. Read the paper with a calm mind. What if, be ready for all type of situations. What if there is some change in pattern? Like if you have appeared for ALET this time, you must have realized that there was a slight change in pattern. There was a common passage for English as well as logical reasoning. So if any change happens, although it's flat has not said anything will happen, but if some slight change happens, be prepared for any type of situation. Be prepared for any type of situation. Have confidence in yourself that whatever question will come, I will be give my best, and I will keep a calm mind, understand what the questioner is asking, and answer the questions accordingly. Count on the things that have worked for you in the past. Whenever you have had good marks in your mocks, whichever mock gave you maximum marks, try to remember what worked for you. What was your strategy? Which section you attempted first? How did you go about it? And how you performed well in that. So that will be your strength. That will be something that has worked for you, and that might work again. So things that have worked for you in mocks, that have worked for you in past, that will be very helpful. So please be very careful about your strategy that you are going to adopt tomorrow, and avoid changing any strategy at the last moment. Like some students, what they do is they read the passage first, then they come to the questions, and then they answer the questions. First, some of them they read the question first, then they go to the passage, so that their brain only filters out the relevant thing from the passage, and they do not get deviated from irrelevant things from the passage, and they only look for answers in the passage. So whatever strategy you have been adopting so far, stick to that. Whatever has worked for you, stick to that. Do not try to completely change your strategy at the last moment. That is not at all advisable. Just do whatever has been working for you, whatever has given you marks in your mocks, whatever has given you maximum uh, good performances in the past. Then you have to read the question with calm mind, look at all the options carefully, and be very careful because there is negative marking, as you know. If you get one question right, you gain 1 marks. If you get one question wrong, you get 0.25 marks as negative marking. So you lose 0.25 marks. So here, at certain situations, you might take a calculated risk. Sometimes when you are sure that okay, I have attempted these many right questions, then there are few questions where I have 50-50 chance of getting it right. So in those situations, you might try to take a calculated guess, because if it gets wrong, you will lose 0.25 marks, but if it gets right, you will get 1 mark. So if you get 4 questions wrong, you will lose 1 mark, and if you get one guess right, that will compensate for the 4 wrong questions. But you have to be very careful, very calculated, not a blind guess. It's not that I have no idea about it, just simply taking it A, B, C, D. Don't do that at all. That will be fatal. That will be absolutely uh, spoiling your paper. What you can do is first be very careful that these are the questions that I know, and there are some questions where I have doubt in 2 options. I am 100% sure that it cannot be option C. I'm 100% sure it cannot be option D. It can be A or B. In those situations, there is a possibility, if you think it right, you might consider taking a risk, so that you, if it lands correct, you might get 1 marks for that question. Then go to the passage to seek the answer. In general knowledge, please be very careful. In general knowledge, usually you will not get the answer to the question in the passage. So it is advisable to not waste a lot of time in reading the complete passage from the general knowledge section, because the questions are independent of the passage. They are related to passage, but you will not find the answers in the passage. Unlike, say, legal reasoning. Legal reasoning, you will find answers inside the passage. But for general knowledge, like if you have seen the previous year question papers, there is a passage giving you the reference, giving you the context. Then there are questions with that context, but not found in the inside the passage. So it's totally your call how you read the passage, how you come to the questions. Time management, speed. If you keep your accuracy and speed in your side, yours is the paper, and you will do very well tomorrow, and you will get into one of the top national or universities of your choice. So please be very careful, keep a calm mind. Time management is your most important aspect that you have to keep in mind. Do not make the mistake of leaving any question unread. Read all the questions. You should know all the things that have been asked in the examinations. Do not get stuck to any question. Read fast, but read carefully. Time management. I cannot stress enough that in 150 question, for 150 questions you have 120 minutes, you have less than 1 minute for each question. So you have to complete the paper in time. For that, you need to have a calm mind, a very calm mind, and you have to do not fall into the trap of getting stuck to any questions or spending way too much time on any particular question. So that's these are some things that you should keep in mind for tomorrow's examination. Let me know how the exam went, and all the best to you for tomorrow. So and always remember that we will do the paper analysis, we'll discuss the cutoffs, we'll provide all the support that you need after the examination till you get to into the NLU of your choice. Thank you so much. All the best for tomorrow. Best of luck.